Good morning.
Good morning, Rosemary.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rodeo's fine morning. It says it's April the 15th. I hope you've all got your taxes ready to be put in the mailbox by midnight tonight.
Thanks to Wardell and Associates.
Yeah, thanks, Frank.
So, now I got Jim Barton, Mr. Middleton.
Towards.
Please face the flag and
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Joe. I'd also like to thank the greeters, Gamble, Bill Thomas, and Scott.
All right, thank you.
Roving microphone team today is Marty Webb, A-Team, Bruce Campbell, A-Plus team. Pam,
Oh, my
did
goodness.
you remember?
You know, I almost got out of the room in time. No, I'm sorry. I need, different words of wisdom for us, please. Oh, there we go. There we go. That makes my job. I can go help the speakers, other speakers.
What's that?
be prepared like a good Boy Scout.
No big deal.
I have one I can redeem myself.
Your event's not for a while, right? September.
Last chance, okay. Gail, did you get the microphone?
Paul Harrison.
This is because I've been out of class. So I actually looked one up. And the word for the day is almost anything works better if you unplug it for a few minutes.
Very, yes, very.
I'm gonna write this down. Joe,
President's
probably
Gift.
sing a song and get everybody in the right mood.
Nice to see you this morning. Everything okay up there in Bedford?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, it's still there.
Snow on Castle?
I got through the pass without any snow,
Uh,
which is always good.
That is good. What'd you drive up there? A truck?
Drove up Saturday and came back Monday.
Right.
Had to be back there for the board of directors meeting.
Good, good. Well, good to have you back, and obviously, people thought maybe you weren't gonna be here, it's sparsely attended.
Yeah. Well, they were hoping.
Well, what do you think? It's tax day.
Yeah.
Maybe we should pay homage to our country. Or
How broke I
Run the team spare time. Yeah, that could be good. Or how about something about the flag? Maybe Grand Old Flag. Perfect. Great suggestion. Thank you. Ready? You're a
Grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true, from the red, white, and blue, when there's never a boast or brag. Should all acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Have a visiting Rotarian welcome today. So, Mark McDonald, National Club. Dr. Galen, CPA.
Well, you got a visitor at your table. Would you please raise your arm?
Yes, I have a visitor again, Matthew Rogers.
Kathy was also at second Friday last Friday, the last Friday. Anybody else? A little, let's round of applause for Jeff. is paid up. We don't have any anniversaries this week, nor do we have any Rotary anniversaries. So, we do have an important piece of business. The Rotary International Director 2017-2019 will be selected by a committee, and our club should select a representative to that committee. And there are certain requirements for that candidate. Must be a past district governor, must be a member of a club in the district, which is ours, attended 2 or more Rotary Institutes in the past 3 years, and have attended at least 1 Rotary International convention. And then, best of all, most important, have willingness and ability to serve.
Hey, Bruce!
The met Monday night, and we voted to present Bruce Campbell to the club for acceptance in this position. So, is there any discussion before we vote on this?
What's the downside of having to go away for you?
It's not going away for a year when it was a weekend.
It's upside down in my life.
So we need some downside to come back.
The downside is I will be down.
Okay, so I would like, I guess maybe a show of hands on favor of this. Against? Bruce, you're in. Thank you very much. So, the announcements category. Still trying to find the parents of this girl so we can get their approval to use her face on our website. Anybody knows her?
I took the picture, I don't know
Where was the picture taken?
It was that Asian.
Yeah.
Let's just go in the picture.
It's a great picture.
Steve Scott is doing well, we had a practice last night. And we had a reasonable showing. And a more than reasonable amount of wine was from. But this is our varsity team so far. Last night, Gabe, Jim Long, and David Mark Freeman showed up at my place. And fortunately, I was expecting them. Our team right now is Paul Page, Jim Blum, Michael Cook, Gabe McFerrin, myself, Julie Edson, a friend of mine, Don Paulson, Pat Paulson, David Mark Raymond, Pam Davis, and Jim I guess. So, that's 11 people. If we had 12, we could have 2 teams. And we did come up with a name last night for a team. It's the Washtenaw. Next, by the way, the next meeting of our practice will be next Wednesday, 5:30 in my place. And if you want to play bocce or want to play bocce, or just like to drink wine, so let's get an update on where we are with Taste of the West County. Gabrielle, if you can come up here, please.
Well, it's not going to be any longer because I'm standing up here, but I just wanted to say a few things about Guys Can Cook. We decided to maintain the $65 ticket price up to the door. At the door, they'll be $75. Ticket sales are going pretty good. I'm really pleased by the response to the club, and I really thank everybody who's worked hard to sell tickets. We're still in the usual spot that we are at this time of year. We need more participants. We believe we can get enough wineries. We're closing in on the number of restaurants, but we still need amateurs. So I want to address the amateur issue that seems to be floating around a little bit. I know a lot of people were upset by the Rotary only category. You know, we didn't really do this previously. We've heard comments from former chefs about how I felt when the Rotarian won. So, but we're not getting a good response from the club in terms of, you know, producing amateurs, and so we're going to remove that impediment. So if people are not participating because of this, that's no longer a reason. And if I've upset people about this or other things, you know, it may sound like we're making decisions without club input. We did our best to get people to come to meetings and help make these decisions, but in fact, you know, we make mistakes, and I'm really sorry if people are upset by some of the decisions we've made. But we're all, like everyone else, trying to make this a better and a good event for our club, so we have enough money to do the things that we really like doing. So I hope that we'll get a lot more participation and a lot more support for this event. David?
How many amateur chefs thus far?
Oh, have the slide, please.
It's up there, right
Oh,
behind
it's
you.
okay. There you go. The amateurs, we have 6 that are actually signed up. I did put their names. You can see where we are with wineries. We just lost, with restaurants, we just lost French Garden because they're too busy. We could use more beer, or apparently we can't have more cider because we promised them they'd be the only one. So it's really amateurs are where we need to be. Nancy Woods is really kindly running the winery end of this, even though she's not a member anymore. So if we can feel certain about the number of amateurs, then we'll go after getting some more wineries.
Does that include Rotarians, the amateurs listed?
Yes, right now, that's everybody that's on the list. There's stuff in the wind I keep hearing about, but they haven't signed up yet, and it's up to you to sign up. You're not on the list, and if you're, and then there's always some attrition at the end, so we want to have more rather than fewer. Yeah.
Just a question, how does that compare to how many we actually ended up with last year?
Okay, here you go. Last year we had 12 wineries, this year we have 8. Last year we had 5 beer, this year so far we have 3. Last year we had 7 professionals, and right now we have 8. So, but now we've just lost 1, so we're back at 7. Amateurs we had 16, and now we have 8. So you can see that the amateurs are the area where we're a little slow, and it's where the fun of the event is. And what makes us unique, this event, you can go to a lot of food and wine events and not have this. So I hope that the changes that we are making now will bring some of you back into the fold. And if you are planning to do this, please sign up. We do have a nice form out on the website, easy to do, makes no input, no double entry for us. It'd be great to see the website start burning up today. Thanks.
Scholarship for students.
Okay, so, no, actually, okay, all right, here's the deal. In an effort to, again, sweeten the pot a little bit to get the amateurs in, we're offering people who are feeling a financial hardship to do this but have a lot of enthusiasm for it. We will underwrite them to between $100 and $200, which doesn't always cover the cost. If you're talking with friends or family who are having financial issues and need that kind of help, start at 100, don't start at 200. See what happens. Jim?
What's the prize for an amateur?
Amateur best of show, $1,000. There's 3 categories, that's $250 each, and we also have, I call it the People's Choice, that'd also be a $250, because that's an award that can be manipulated, so, you know, I'm not gonna make it too high. The other thing is that, you know, Friday is gonna be here in about, 2.5 weeks. We're hoping that we get the normal big turnout to help set up on Friday. We had some specific volunteer positions that really aren't filled yet. Martha called everybody in the club over the weekend to see if we could get these filled. We did get some filled. There's still some stuff out there. So those of you who called her back or talked to her, thank you very much. Those of you who didn't even return her call back, undue. So anyway, hope to see you all on that Friday and Saturday to help us do the setup. Thanks.
What time on Friday do you want to do that for setup?
I'll tell you next week because I don't remember, but it's probably like 9. No, it's 12, right? Isn't it? Yeah, it's 12.
I have an announcement for Guys Can Cook. Woo!
Yay.
Hold on, I know you can shout it, hold on.
So I was asked to help do the procurement, and my part in it is to do inventory. So let's get down and dirty, and I need some help at the shed. We'll take the Cajun Festival people as well, because we're gonna pull everything out of that shed and inventory what we have so we know what we have to buy. So it'll probably have to be on a Sunday, but I'll do Bloody Marys and food. So I'll send out an email who's helped in the past. So let's get going and get Guys Can Cook, a great event for Gabrielle, who's worked so hard.
This is half of our budget for next year, the way we provide monies for mini grants, the other things we do and stuff. So very important for all of us to really get behind this, make this a successful event. Other announcements. Just a quickie. If you went to the last Friday, there was a $5 kind of a pot if you pay for the refreshments we had. And if you went and kind of missed doing that, see Debbie fine, and you give her $5. Terry, talk to us kind of the sunshine moment.
Thank you, Marty. Yeah, we got a note to speak from Rod McCauley. I think most of you know Rod has been working as an interim pastor at a church in Santa Rosa, but he can't say much about why he's doing that. But he apparently had a TIA, a knee stroke about 3 weeks ago. Doing fine, everything seems to be coming back, working just fine, but he told us about that, and how we should pass it on.
Who are you talking about?
Rob McCauley.
Just another reminder that April is Penal for Polio Month. We do have an inventory of Penal for Polio available at the back table. It's $30 a bottle. You get $16 of that goes to End Polio Now. You get a $16 polio credit. If you buy 4 bottles, you get $64 in polio credits, and the club will give you an additional 100 points. So let's take advantage of it this month.
Unbeknownst to Michael, so the deaf line didn't get confused with Michael retrieving for the auction, I put the box back in the cabinet. There's a 6-pack of polio.
Good body block.
Is this competition?
We'll stand so close, you make me nervous. I've got a couple of free tickets to anybody who would like and might be able to make it to San Francisco this evening. It's at the Young. There are 2 exhibits. They brought in the from the National Collection in Scotland. They have this wonderful exhibit of it's called Botticelli's Broth. And you can go anytime from 9:15 on. You can go all day if you want to. And then after that, there's a special event. Artists who are floral artists created floral displays as a tribute to some individual piece of art. So they pair the artist with a piece of art and have them make something for it. And these are free for the taking as an extra for me. Susan and I will be there. We need to leave. We're leaving early today. But if somebody else would like these tickets, you can have them. Let me know.
Michael.
There's a Navy team that's putting together a float for the parade, which is this Saturday. The team needs to meet right after this meeting here to kind of fine tune. We'll be assembling our float on Friday using a truck that's being loaned by Hansel Ford. Thank you. And we have a lovely banner, and the theme is the magic of Rotary. That kind of goes with the parade theme of magical time. So we'd also welcome everyone from the club to join us in walking in the parade on Saturday. So we're in Division 3, Position 10. I'll send an email out to remind you of that. But bring your 60s clothes if you have any that still fit.
Some of us still wear it.
Okay, so that's the deal. Parade committee meet here right after this meeting. It should be fun.
Volunteers on Fridays to help with they show up where.
Are we doing that, about right?
Yeah.
You guys, just circling back around to the guys event, I want to acknowledge the people that worked on sponsorships and on live auction. Jim Bertero and Paula Page have stepped forward on the sponsorships. And John Morello and Jim Thomas have been doing the live auction. And I think we've really put together something special this year. We're ahead of where we were last year in sponsorships. We have a nice live auction slate of items. So we just need you, that help with ticket sales and the chefs, and I think it'll be a grand event. It'll be a lot of fun.
What item? Do you have an example item or two?
Yeah, we have a number of, we've got a trip to Mexico, we have a nice weekend trip out of Jenner. Of course, we have John's 24 barbecue out at his vineyard, which is so very nice and often attracts a lot of interest. And we have Bob Rogers has donated a day out on his boat with yours truly as a deckhand. Don't miss that.
Wild boar,
Yeah, go ahead. And
you might mention that the Rotary Club at Big Bear.
that's right, we have Big Bear
us a
ski vacation. And Mike McCormick and Mike McLaughlin and Ron Cutler are reprising their barbecue at Bob Rogers' house. And, so it should be great.
How are we doing on silent auction and stuff?
We have 53 items, we have 53 items on the silent auction, and the value right now is about $6,200. So we have some really unusual and neat things. I've got a 4-foot by 4-foot wooden art thing that goes on the side of a barn that's a quilt. So, quilters, and this is kind of very pretty. We've got another custom barbecue pit, lots of wine, and a bunch of other miscellaneous things. So we'll have the raffle, we have the golden ticket, we have live auction. Hopefully it'll bring in some good money.
And one more really high note is that there'll be one cattle auction this year, and it's going to be for polio. So that'll get us up to about $5,000 or so.
Same way.
Same way? What do you mean?
Pay $100 to get a lot of people for polio?
Yes, absolutely.
Anybody else? Moving on. So, it's now time for your favorite game. And today is a fun game. No fines will be assigned. Let's just see how well you know your film. So, who wants to play first? Okay, Matt wants to play.
She didn't mean it, she meant Don Bone.
Your subject is Jim Bertero. He says he once rescued 2 children from a burning house. He was elected president of his fraternity class, impeached, and then re-elected in the same year. He helped build a rocket that broke the sound barrier, and he had an automobile accidents, several of them, but he's never totaled a car.
I have to say number 3.
Yeah. The rocket?
Yeah.
He has totaled a car. All right, who's next?
Don Paulson.
Don Paulson. That's voluntary.
Sat in the line to
early UNIVAC computer. She had a heifer named Pamela. She took sailing lessons while lived in San Diego and was an avid backpacker for over 30 years.
I can believe all of us, I think. I guess you didn't have a heifer named Pamela, number 2.
Okay, what do you think?
I had a heifer named Pamela. I bought her at auction and brought her home.
Okay, which one of these is a lie?
Which one is the lie? What is the lie?
Which is a lie? I never did take sailing lessons. I always wanted to, but never did it.
Well, you should have.
So you haven't played yet.
That's true.
Well, stand yourself up. And we'll play the next game.
All right, let's get the deductions.
All right, Jeff Dunbar. He drank beer with an East Indian princess, hiked the Himalayas at 18,000 feet, bungee jumped over a river, touched the water in New Zealand, skydived from a 4-seater plane in rural Pennsylvania that stalled the first time down the runway, and he traveled to the Greek islands in 2 weeks on a 42-foot sailboat with his 2-year-old daughter. Guys, get a picture.
I'm going to say number 2. And he bungee jumped over a river and into the water.
Well, it's number 4. But thanks for playing. All right. Scott, you want to play? First of all, I want to thank Jeff. He's here today, but he's got us all signed up with the Riverbank Club at the Sonoma State. This is a little flag that they have built. It's got our name on there and everything.
Well, art director.
Michael Phelps.
Okay.
There you go. His first car was a 1950 Studebaker, which he bought for $100 in 1957.
It's worth twice that.
His 47 Jeep was destroyed when Barry Goldwater's grandmother ran it. He drove the Fort Ross school bus from 1969 to 1972. He had a summer job collecting and delivering body parts.
Are these car body parts? All right, number 2.
Number 2 is wrong. Actually, his wife is the one who drove the school bus. There you are. Whoops. We're going to pick another. Nowhere of all things. Michael Cook. He traveled to Lasqueti Island in British Columbia to start a commune with someone from Maine and his girlfriend. Doesn't specify whether it's the guy from Maine's girlfriend or his. He received an MBA from UCLA in 1973, where he was editor of the student newspaper. He attended the Pasadena Playhouse School of Drama when Justin Hoffman was there. And he hitched a ride in a VW bus from Santa Cruz to New York City with a harpsichord player who was taking his instrument to New York, where he would embark on a European tour. He wins the prize for most wordy by Schultz. What do you say?
Wow, I don't know. No, I'll go with 3.
You win. Dustin Hoffman was there, but not when he was. Okay, we're having a little kind of a change up in our, I'm going to skip Happy Bucks because we're a little short on time here. Oh, we're Happy Bucks? Who's got Happy Bucks? Louis? Quick, fast Happy Bucks.
Well, my youngest son Ethan got married last Thursday at City Hall in San Francisco, and they had the pride of the baby to go to grandma's house for 2 days. The baby really didn't want to leave and go back home to parents. So, and we were not the grandparents, they were the grandparents. But very happy for them. They were a very happy couple now. Broke, but happy.
How happy?
How happy? What's happy?
20 bucks happy, thank you. Any other quick Happy Bucks? Yes, Gail?
Since I've had several questions about this morning, the Happy Bucks are, even though we cannot open the hospital on the 27th of April, we will definitely open on May 18th. The state extended the license for the hospital to allow that, and that was because the state had a couple of extra things they wanted us to do. I think they felt really guilty. So, we're gonna be in the parade in a float that says something wonderful is happening. And anybody who is with the parade on our Rotary float, when you could probably walk with us and then go back and still catch up with the Rotary float.
Okay, good.
But thank you. But people wanted to know when, and it's the 18th of May.
And how much are you gonna hand me?
I think she's happy to know.
All right. Last happy is me. Got my taxes done yesterday and filed. I'm getting a refund, so I'm gonna do $100 in my pockets.
All right.
Now, different format today. We're gonna go ahead and do our drawing now, because we're going to adjourn next door and be entertained by the Handling Band Cafe.
Yay!
So, I need somebody to take
Trust you.
some honest
No,
person.
John.
Okay,
Hey, John.
Thank you.
Don't mess it up, Josh. Freebird.
078.
Hey! All right, so,
Thank you, John. I'll see you later.
let's see here. So there is an ace, it's in here, and you just kind of put it in there somewhere, and you just drop them all around a little bit.
Let's go.
And then, you get to pick one. I hope it's the ace. One of those. Oh, a 3, next to it, almost. Okay, wait.
No present.
Well, let's see what we got. Oh.
I want that. I know what's in there. I saw that.
Good luck to us.
Door prize.
Next I'll lose my ability to even look. Okay, so this is really good because it's a nice bottle of Chardonnay from Boletto, and it's some chocolate caramel covered graham crackers.
Chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
All right. Yeah. Brian Bauer's not here, right? Okay, so I've got a joke for you real quick. Dawn was caught in a tail swim, dance all over the car. So she took it to the body shop, and the guy decided to play some fun with it. She said, look, just take it home, and you throw the tail back really hard, and it will pop out. So she went home, and she was puffing, and it wasn't working. And so her roommate, another one, said, dummy, you have to roll the windows up. Okay, let's adjourn next door.